We will not, I repeat, we will not be silenced. We will not sit by and be silenced. No.
Mother trucker looks kind of like Bugman from Men in Black, doesn't he?
No.
Yes. 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 Yeah, well, folks, this is... I can't get enough of this Jasmine Crockett here. She is at a human rights event. And I can't make this up. She's at a human rights event, and she's going to make fun of Greg Abbott's wheelchair. She's going to do the Hot Wheels thing. She's going to... And you know, making fun of him pretty... But at a human rights event, it gets a standing, laughing, sort of like approval from the crowd. It's pretty wild. I guess human rights only apply to people if you're into destroying the country and not into human rights. Check this out. This is wild. Watch this.
Because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So yes.
What the hell? I mean, the only hot ass mess I see is her with her, like, you know, I guess that'd be the weaving end hair, and she forgot to put the other sleeve on her dress, and she, you know, why doesn't she just talk like, I want to be heard? I mean, like, the thing is as much as we make fun of her ratchet self, I just so happen to have a ratchet right here. I have a Jasmine Crockett right here, but this is a real ratchet, and she's not actually really like this. There are some older videos when she was coming up. She acted normal, and just to reiterate that she comes from a very, very well off background. She has never had to live life in the hood. She's never had to live life, you know, on the streets. She doesn't know anything about that except for what she's read in books. I guess that's why, you know how, like, whenever you got men that put on women's dresses and they hype up the sexuality of women because they think that's how women are because it's an inverted reality that they live in. Well, she does this. This is how she thinks black women act. And so, you know, and I guess in a leader in her own right that, you know, entices people to act that way, which means that she's actually perpetuating the stupidity on her own because she's that stupid. Not that stupid, but stupid in the subject that she thinks she's able to rely on, that she does it. She comes from extremely high-end colleges, very rich family, and never was like this until she realized where the algorithm was, you know, adhering to her. And she's a victim of that. To be honest with you, you're looking at somebody who's highly educated, very smart, and has figured out in social media world, if she acts like this, then she gets a lot of algorithmic activity on her websites. And she actually sees us, you know, reporting on her. And so she says, you know what? This is a really good direction for me to go because obviously I'm getting some attention. It might not be good, but it's attention. However, the problem is that she's living in a false sense of reality. And whenever it finally comes to terms that she's not actually going to, in a sustainable way of life, that her activities are only going to perpetuate her further negativity in life, that means that she's going to have to keep topping these. She's going to be becoming more and more and more over the top so that she can get the shock and awe value. She's already done some somewhat assaultive maneuvers on some reporters for Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer sent some of her reporters down to interview Jasmine Crockett. You know, you can call Laura Loomer what you want, but she's done a lot of great work for the conservative team. She's done a lot of great investigative journalism, and she is legitimate. And so, if you know you got people down there asking you questions, you don't handle people like Jasmine Crockett does. Watch this video as she actually physically harms one of the reporters for Laura Loomer. Check this out.
First manure. Well, that sounds like fun.
Wait, Congresswoman Crockett.
But it sounds...
Congresswoman Crockett, you were recently on a Tesla takedown call calling for violence on the 29th. Would you like to clarify your comments?
As you can see.
Congresswoman, will you condone violence at the Tesla?
See, that's the reporter's hand where you could physically got, you know, kind of manhandled by her, where she scratched up his hand, you know, forcefully grabbed his phone out, which that's that could be considered assault under it could be, if I don't know why he hasn't pressed charges yet. I would say, you know what? Because what I was saying earlier is she's going to have to keep upping her ante. Just like a crackhead has to smoke more crack because he's trying to reach that high. She's every time she does something, she's got to go a little bit further. And she's already doubled down on her calls for harm to political opponents. And not fearing Pam Bondi at all. Not at all. And so now she's to the point where she's got a little handsy with a reporter, kind of like, what's his name? Eye Patch McCain did with I think it was an InfoWars. It was or James. It was somebody. One of the reporters, Eye Patch McCain got handsy with, tripped him or something, or one of his guys did something like that. And anyhow, there was no reports of assault on that. But these people need to quit being soft, because if you were to do this to a Democrat person, like if you were to do this to a Caitlin Collins, you can bet CNN and everybody would be, it's time to file some assault charge. You'd have civil lawsuits. You'd have, all these people. Mark Elias would step in with his big old fat behind. Anyways, trying to keep my language down. I have another report real quick to come with this. Is the United States Postal Service worker has been taken out of commission. Let me show you this guy real quick, and I'll show you. Check this out. You can thank Elon Musk's DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, for looking out for us and seeing this guy as just a waste of money, a waste of time, a waste of money. The Postal Service hasn't run so inefficiently ever since it was even like horses. You were getting your mail delivered back in the Western days, quicker with horsebacks, and it was more organized. And there have been so many reports of United States postal workers that were hired into the diversity category that were actually stealing people's money. Lots of money getting stole, and committing quite a bit of fraud. This guy right here was kind of like brought to the attention, and Congress started talking to him and everything. And when he was brought to Congress on this hearing, this was his response. He gets kind of like he gets in a heated discussion because he's at fault. It looks like he talks out of one side of his mouth, literally, and instead of having an answer to come back with, he just he puts his hands over his ears like a kid whenever you're trying to tell him something, and he just goes, raindrops keep falling on my head. Just doesn't want to hear it, doesn't want to answer it, just pretends like he can just go in his own little happy cry space and not have to deal with it. Check this out.
Accountability. Congress is responsible for all the postal
so it's
service.
Congress.
I am trying to fix
on your
the Postal
watch
Service.
With all the AI.
Before my watch, the same stuff happened.
With all the AI, with all the computer systems, you're worse than if I took a horse and picked up the mail and delivered it 2 miles down the road.
Look at that. Look at that right there. Look at that. Smiles. His little evil smile. This dude got paid a lot of money to do his job, and he did absolutely the opposite. He took and did nothing. If he did nothing, it would have been better. But he actually put effort into annihilating the efficiency of the Postal Service and spent more time using his authority to go after people and help with 2020 election stuff. Now, and like I say, what was it, in Michigan, Jocelyn Benson, of course, they were scheduled to clean up their voter roll after the election, but they wouldn't do it before, but they did it afterwards. And so they have that argument. They say, well, that was what we were supposed to do. But really, to be honest with you, they understand that there's a lot of stuff about to happen with the election, as Trump just signed a whole bunch of stuff, some executive orders dealing with illegals not voting, and pulling federal funds and all these states that are trying to get illegals to vote. And there's also some court rulings that pulled some of the legislation back that said illegals could vote. They said, no, you can't do that. There are several states that put that in place. And so Jocelyn Benson in Michigan or Wisconsin, Jocelyn Benson, wherever that place is, was had strategic, like, clean the voter rolls now. It's that meme with with Austin Powers and that chick. She's like, clean the voter rolls. I can see it now. But yeah, this dude just puts his hands over his ears and is like, yeah, I don't want to hear it, don't want to say it, and literally talks out of the side of his mouth. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Just wanted to show you some crazy stuff that is going on the side that accuses us of being corrupt. This is what we're dealing with. You want to talk about having a bad relationship, a girlfriend who cheats on you and blames you for it. Like, I know you messing around, checking your phone, smelling your Dooma Hummer every time you come home. We should just start smelling her coochie because she's the one doing it. Literally, I don't know where I'm going with that. But anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about. Thanks for watching. I'm out.